Hello Africa, hello world. It's good to have you here with me once again, and this is the only show that brings you all the updates from the diplomatic community in Ghana and around the world. Today is going to be another interesting episode right here on Pan-African television as we bring you something very interesting. Now, the introduction of multi-party democracy and dismantling of apartheid in 1994 heralded establishment of bilateral relations between Ghana and South Africa. The deeply satisfying relationship and mutually beneficial relationship was bolstered when President Cyril Ramaphosa visited Ghana in December 2021 and signed agreements which centered on trade, agriculture, and investment. Now, on today's episode of Diplomatic Affairs, we will delve into how these ties have contributed meaningfully to gains among both countries in the field of diplomacy. My guest is a very vibrant woman, and she is very hardworking. She has been trending for some days now, and it's because she's been able to have her own way of connecting with the people on the ground, the people who will have to be attended to at the end of the day. I'm not going to introduce her now. I will take a break. So when I come back, you'll get to know who my guest is on this episode of Diplomatic Affairs. Please stay.
To it, he's been dispossessed by Verratti though, and how about that from Neymar? Brilliant, quite incredible from the Brazilian.
Cheesy Pizza will always be by your side, celebrating with you in moments of joy and happiness. Enjoy your everyday life with a slice of Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza, your way.
Hello. What are you doing Tuesday to Friday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. every day? You should be watching The Couch. I'll tell you why. On Tuesdays, we talk social issues, lifestyle health, all those everyday issues that affect us in the big ways. Late Wednesdays are for book reviews. Thursdays are for the hard talk, those socio-economic, policy-oriented, political questions that demand for the tough questions to be asked. And Personality Profiling Fridays, when we get to know the stories behind the winning personalities we love. Inspirational story from inspirational personalities. Hey, listen, you really cannot miss The Couch with me, Amma, but still the only TV show with a heart.
In previous seasons, he saw this.
You are not allowed to hawk or preach in commercial vehicles.
The perception in Ghana is abortion is illegal, and we don't follow up with the exceptions.
The existence of the customary marriage is no prerequisite
For the ordinance
marriage.
Yes. And now, are you ready for this?
Some people express the fact that they don't go on leave with pride.
Accumulated leave, like they term it, is illegal.
Because in Ghana we don't have enough lawyers, and the accused can apply for bail where he has no lawyer.
Knowing full well that you have an STI and you do not reveal that to the person and you have the sexual contact with the person, it is also part of domestic violence.
Join the Law Express panel for relevant, informative, and educative topics.
It is clear that if the court grants bail, it is the registrar of the court that has the power to deal with execution of the bail.
All matrimonial properties that are sold without the consent of the other party are actually null and void.
Hello. What are you doing Tuesday to Friday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. every day? you should be watching The Couch. I'll tell you why. On Tuesdays, we talk social issues, lifestyle, health, all those everyday issues that affect us in the big ways. Late Wednesdays are for book reviews. Thursdays are for the hard talk, those socio-economic, policy-oriented, political questions that demand for the tough questions to be asked. And Personality Profiling Fridays, when we get to know the stories behind the winning personalities we love. Inspirational story from inspirational personalities. Hey, listen, you really cannot miss The Couch with me, Amma, but still the only TV show with a hat.
Trasacco Estates, home to Accra's most beautiful and luxurious homes, presents its newest addition, Trasacco Springs, a premium master planned community of service plots surrounded by an exhaustive list of amenities. The gated community off Tema to Accra Motorway presents you the finest opportunity to own a land that suits your preferred size, budget, and payment terms. Trasacco Springs is open to you for development. Our on-site sales executives are ready. Call on 055 659 2658.
Hello, information.
Madam,
may I have still not got the money for that list of expensive building materials you sent to me. The price of the iron rods have been increased too much, had I?
Madam, relax. Look, that's not why I did call. I just visited IPCP, where the engineers told me everything about Trasacco fast floor.
Trahuako, please, those people are expensive. Are they not the people building those big houses in town? I beg going to Nagai.
Madam, in fact, I used to think the same until I visited their office today. And they gave me an estimate of how much it will cost. Yomo, the estimate is real. It's cheaper than the one I even sent you.
Wow.
Building contractors, foremen, masons. Visit IPCP, the Trasacco Fast Floor. Engineers will assist you build an affordable, faster, and stronger building.
Oh, madam. It is done.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
Trasacco Fast Floor. Stronger, faster, and affordable.
This is a Trasacco construction product.
Welcome back. He's still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nate. We are coming to you live from the studios of Pan-African Television, the only station with a heart. This is where you know that Africa is connected. This is where we talk about integration. This is where we talk about anything that has to do with Africa. And it's all about coming together and being able to pool our resources together and get the results that we are looking for at the end of the day, developments in all aspects right here on the continent. Well, today I have with me a very exceptional woman. She's a mother, she's a mentor, she is very industrious, and she has a very good relationship with the people. And that's what matters. If you're a leader, you need to be able to find a way to connect with the people from all levels. And so I have the honor to please introduce you to the South African High Commissioner to Ghana, Her Excellency Grace Janet Mason. Madam High Commissioner, you're welcome to Diplomatic Affairs.
Thank you, Harriet. Sawubona to your channel, Pan-African Television. It is an honor for me to be here this afternoon.
I love your outfit.
Oh, proudly South African, the artist, and that is what I promote, culture, South African artist. This couture garment was designed by David Tlale, and it's not just an
outfit.
There's a message. It depicts South African history. You will see we have Miriam Makeba. We also have Chris Harney, South African freedom fighters, and we also have Amilcar Brown here. So this is a Pan-African garment that not only speaks to South Africa, but to Africa.
Your every move is strategic, and I love that about you, Your Excellency. I really do. Beautiful outfits, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, it's good to have you here. The whole world has been waiting to see you on this show, because this is the only show that brings viewers all the happenings from the diplomatic community, politically, economically, social, cultural, you name it. It's all here once it is related to diplomacy. And so we are very honored to have you on the show. There is so much that we will be touching on this episode. I have a very important video that I would like to share with our viewers. Before we play the video, before we begin our conversation, we are going to look at that video. So I need you to take a look at this video. That is going to be the premise for our conversation today. So take a look at the video. When we come back, I'll tell you more about this piece.
No one said this would be easy. Our young democracy was bound to face its fair share of obstacles. Though these moments may feel as if they're going to break us, asilahli themba. We rise to the challenges, armed with solutions, because with great freedoms come even greater responsibilities. And yes, we will not be silent, but show true courage when we speak truth to power. We will use our strength to build and not tear down. Honor the greatness within us and not destroy it. Each struggle we overcome is one more that shows together we can overcome anything. And believe you me, we will rebuild. From the spaza shops in Gauteng to the brick and mortar businesses in KwaZulu-Natal, from Dofaya, Gomora to Mamelodi, we will restore the hopes and dreams of our people one by one. Phakama mntakwethu, phahamang bana ba Tharientso. Let us rise to the greater call of our nation. Form a human chain of resilience, knowing that jwang kapa jwang, we will rise time and time again for South Africa, Africa Borwa, Africa Chipembe.
Right, of course. Live shows can be a bit of trouble, but we got it all the time. Welcome back. So that was a very short video that we decided to introduce so we could start our conversation. Like I said, Her Excellency Grace Janet Mason is the South African High Commissioner to Ghana, and so she's representing the people of South Africa, the government and the people of South Africa very well in this country. And so I would want her to tell us a bit about the video we just played. So this video was played on Freedom Day, which was on the 27th of April recently. How symbolic is this video?
I'll start with explaining the 27th of April. That is South Africa's Freedom Day. And this was ushered in on the 27th of April 1994. So this video simply depicts the resilience of South Africa, the resilience post-COVID. After COVID, we then just had the floods in KZN, and we'd also at the same time have been grappling at the same period with fires in the Western Cape. So this just shows a rainbow nation, a nation that is within unity and diversity, we still remain resilient. So that's the essence of
this video.
Yes,
in a nutshell, it depicts the resilience of
South Africa.
South Africa. Well, that's a very nice video, and it's good to know. It's very symbolic, I admit. I would want us to talk about South Africa's foreign policy.
First of all, I would also like to just acknowledge that I have been watching diplomatic affairs, and I've waited unabatedly for my opportunity to come here, as I watched my colleague, the EU, last week, very interactive, and the interventions that he had also made. So I'm here today, and I will speak about the South African foreign policy imperatives, and take it back from the state visit, as you opened up to say that the inaugural binational commission, and that is the basis of South Africa's bilateral relations with Ghana. At the end of December last year, President Cyril Ramaphosa undertook a state visit to Ghana. That was a state visit as well as the inaugural binational commission between South Africa and Ghana. And every 2 years, the heads of state will then meet. And this binational commission is chaired by our respective presidents. So in 2023, we then envisage that the Republic of Ghana will then undertake a similar state visit and a binational commission to Pretoria. But at the backdrop of that, a number of agreements were entered into, Harriet. We signed an agreement and a memorandum of understanding in the areas of cooperation in the field of agriculture, transport and aviation, immigration services, and also a letter of intent to cooperate in the areas of women, youth, and women with disability. There are 2 outstanding agreements that will be finalized at earliest convenience, which we will sign through our respective nations. And now post-COVID, we envisage to sign it virtually, but we would have that finalized at earliest convenience. It is the visa waiver as well as the defense cooperation memorandum of understanding. So those were the bilateral mechanisms that were signed between our 2 nations. But the president also undertook a state visit that comprised of a business forum. And this business forum, it was an opportunity for South African and Ghanaian business, B2B interaction and trade mission. And we had, in particular also, and the dynamic of this year was that we had more women in business and in industry that formed part of the president's trade mission to Ghana. And we concluded it with a cultural activities, which was a Southwest fashion show, which included South African and Ghanaian artists, because that's part of our vision as well. As we begin to trade and as we begin to have interaction and strengthen our relations, we do it in all areas of diplomacy, economic diplomacy, cultural diplomacy, and also promoting tourism, and especially post-COVID. And I'll go into detail as we also discuss that. But to take it back to our foreign policy imperatives and the Constitution of South Africa, as enshrined in the Constitution of South Africa, the 1996 Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. And as we speak to South Africa as a rainbow nation, it's a nation that is diverse in our equality. It's a multi-racial nation. And part of that is also in the Bill of Rights of South Africa, the freedoms that is enshrined in the Bill of Rights in Chapter 2 of the Constitution as well, the South African Bill of Rights. It's the equality, the constitutional supremacy of South Africa, the rule of law, and the cornerstone of our foreign policy is Ubuntu, and that is premised Ubuntu, and Ubuntu is premised on our Africanism, that we are because you are.
Right.
It simply means I am because you are. So South Africa is because of who South Africa is on the continent, and our perspective and imperative on also then ensuring a peaceful and prosperous Africa and the world. So it's South Africa and our relationship with the continent and the world as well. And when we have more time and when you have another session, I'll go into details in terms of South Africa, our multilateralism, South Africa's participation in multilateral forums, the G20, BRICS and other multilateral forums, and South Africa's perspective. But for now, I'd like to just scale it down to South Africa-Ghana bilateral relations and the achievements and what is it that we look forward to and how we can leverage on trade and also the trajectory of the continental free trade area, continental integration, the African agenda. Yes.
Okay. I think you should have sat here so I could be in the guest seat so we can have this interview. I'm already having a very good time on the show. Now, you talked about the trajectory of the African Continental Free Trade Area. You also mentioned economic or trade relations. Before we zoom down to relations between our two countries, which is South Africa and Ghana, I would want us to discuss the continental agenda, or I call it African diplomacy. I would want us to talk a bit about the African Continental Free Trade Area. First of all, what do you make of this pact binding us economically?
As I've said, it is Africa's developmental trajectory. It is a catalyst for integration, regional integration, economic integration.
I have a video that I actually took a part of this this portion from the state visit of His Excellency Ramaphosa, and I would want us to take a look at this short video, and then when we come back, we'll talk about exactly
and what
trade relations,
and how we will how it impacts
so
and how to operationalize
ACTA and the resilience of Africa, and what we
the
can
opportunities
do,
and how we can trade.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Please, if I have that video ready, can we take a look at that video of the state visit of His Excellency Ramaphosa?
task that lies before us is to actively seek out trade and investment opportunities beyond our borders, not in Europe, not in Asia or the Americas, but with our own neighbors and on our own continent. One sector with growth potential is the pharmaceutical sector. And this is a sector that we must now pay attention to.
Right, so that was the president of South Africa, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, during his state visit to Ghana. He captured a whole lot. I was there at Kempinski, you were there. The President of the Republic of Ghana was also present with other dignitaries, and he was very passionate. I could sense so much passion when he was delivering his statements or remarks. He touched on Africa coming together, Africa looking within, and Africa beginning to take charge of Africa and doing business with Africa. African countries beginning to do business with other African countries, of course, which is why we have the establishment or the operationalization of the African Continental Free Trade Area. And so he was very emphatic on the need for us to begin to trade among ourselves. What do you make? What did that actually, how did you find this? Because for you, first off, I have two questions. You came in not too long ago, you were able to perform magic, and you brought in the president to Ghana. And that was very, very, I don't know, memorial. I don't know how to put it, but it was very, it's everyone can relate to the fact that if this happened under your leadership as the South African High Commissioner to Ghana, it means that a lot of work must have gone into this. So what really pushed you? Because I know there was so much behind the scenes and you just wanted this moment to happen. And it was very significant. What did that mean for you?
That is an achievement. And as a diplomat, and as you rightfully say that I arrived in Ghana at the end of 2020, presented my credentials to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, and immediately started working. And because I had understood the foreign policy and the direction of where South Africa is going, and especially in the President's address, when he speaks about relations between South Africa and Ghana, that we should, at the apex of our agenda, have economic diplomacy. Post-COVID, in South Africa, we are looking at our priorities as a country, as well as trade relations. President Ramaphosa just had an investment summit in South Africa on the 24th of March. And this is for us to promote trade within the continent, regional, intercontinental trade, and the African Continental Free Trade Area is a catalyst and a comparative advantage for the continent.
Right, for development.
For development as well. That we begin to look within ourselves, trade within ourselves, so that we also then create resilient value chains for all countries to participate in the value chains. And it also then makes us look within, that we become self-reliant. And as you've said that, it is time for Africa to define our destinies and our visions. So this is an opportunity for us to trade amongst each other, to create industries, to look at and to incredibly now, post-COVID, look at our ERRP strategies, our economic recovery strategies, look at opportunities within tourism to promote the movement of people, the movement of goods within the continent. Tourism is an opportunity, trade is an opportunity, that we begin to industrialize rapidly as well, that we begin to build our own industries. And at another occasion, you can indulge me as we then talk about the apartheid and the apartheid of vaccine nationalism as well. But also to say that we now begin to develop our own industries, we begin to even develop, and South Africa is developing our vaccines. So these are opportunities for us as Africans to leverage, and the opportunity is the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the leaders have met in Addis Ababa in January for the AU Summit, and I'd just like to give you just a brief analysis of the free trade area and what it means and the successes of the AU Summit in Addis Ababa, that the agreement on the rules of origin, 78% of the goods on the tariff lines of the African Union member states have been signed, and that is a commitment as well. And also, just to take it further, some of the instruments as well and the successes subsequent to that was the launch of the Pan-African settlement payment settlement system that was launched as well. And that's a success as well, and that's part of the whole trajectory and the success of the continental free trade area, and of course the Secretary General and the leadership that is provided. And because it's also so graciously hosted in Ghana, and that is also an opportunity for further collaboration, especially South Africa and Ghana, as we continue to trade. And I'll also just give you just some statistics in terms of the current trade balance between South Africa and Ghana, and so the trajectory of our trade.
I had wanted us to look at the areas of trade, exactly what we are trading in as two countries. Then we can talk about the statistics. Yes. So if you could help us to understand trade relations between South Africa and Ghana, really what's happening, just so anybody watching can understand the areas that we are trading in together.
And I'll just explain as well, as we went in the preparations for these upcoming state visits, and as I arrived in Ghana, I immediately then went out and looked at the demographics of Ghana, looking at the sectors of the South African corporates in Ghana, and the good relationship that we currently have with our South Africa-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, to look at the corporates that are in Ghana and the sectors from the mining sector to the services sector, your industry, oil industry, energy, we have your banking services, your other services, telecommunications, we have your MTNs, and all the other services and companies that we have. And we have over 200 to date South African companies doing business in Ghana. And
that's very huge.
Absolutely. And the trade balance between South Africa and Ghana.
Is it a win-win situation?
It is a win-win situation. And post the President's visit, this has also then generated more interest, and we are seeing more inward investment coming in and more outward investment between our two nations. And there are some of the companies that are bringing investment that will be launching very soon in Ghana, and the trade balance, and that is what I just wanted to give you, just the statistics in terms of the trade volumes between South Africa and Ghana has reached up to cumulative amount of 14 billion. Ghana's inputs from South Africa valued at 5.6 billion in rands, and South Africa 8.4 billion rands. And of course our South African investors continue to show confidence in the conducive environment of and the ease of doing business in Ghana, and that for us is positive. So there's more traction, there's more opportunities, and I will soon in the next quarter also have another trade mission that will be coming into Ghana, led by the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition, and this will be inclusive of all of the sectors. It would be a trade mission that would then look at agriculture as well, and agriculture is also a cornerstone of our economy. And especially now, post-COVID when we look at food security. So we'll have a delegation, and we've signed a memorandum of understanding
on that
in the area of food security and agriculture. So we'll have agriculture, we will have industries, and because we've gone out, and I've gone out to all the regions, I've been to the northern region.
All the regions, 16 regions? Well,
not all of the 16 regions.
No, I wouldn't have been surprised because...
If we have this interview, Harriet, in 2020 for the end of my tour, I can definitely confirm
you are definitely coming back.
All the boxes
you
and
are definitely
that I have been to all the regions in Ghana.
You are coming back.
But I've been to the Asante region. I've been to the Western region, Central region. I've been to the Northern region, Volta region.
Impressive.
I'm due to go to the Eastern region as well. The Ahafo region, I'm going there in 2 weeks' time. So we've covered all, because that's where our South African companies are primarily doing business. In the Western region, you have our mining companies.
Right.
I've also been to Obuasi Mine.
So they're not just centered
well.
in the capital, which is
no, they're not just centered in the capital. So, and as we bring, but the trade mission will be in Accra, but we will then have it inclusive and integrated, include all sectors, and have the B2B business as well in all the sectors. And we also want to now include cultural diplomacy as well. Talk about tourism, because that's important as well, and the interventions and the
South Africa
programs
has so
that
much to offer in terms of tourism. South Africa has so much to offer in terms of tourism. How can we, what do you see between South Africa and Ghana when it comes to the tourism industry?
Harriet, I always see an opportunity in everything. Tourism, yes. We've just had our tourism, Africa Tourism Travel Week in Durban in KZN, where we had all tourism industries and sectors from all over the continent that participated. And from Ghana, there was also a delegation of 15 members led the tour operators of Ghana Union also participated. So there's a lot of tourism, and in September where we have the annual tourism in Durban, where we will have, and as we see, we'll also have more, and as we promote our tourism, we also promote sports, we promote culture, we promote, we're also going to look more into tourism and health tourism.
Right, health
tourism, and that is very important. And post-COVID, and that has taught us that the biggest currency you can have is health.
It's health.
So we're looking at health tourism as well, and look at areas of cooperating, and having
that area.
South Africans come, and between we can lose best practices, seed opportunities between our nations, because that's what we do intrinsically, that binds us as South African, Ghana, and our relations. So, and as well as I speak about the tourism, we also just had the mining in Durban that concluded in Cape Town just last week, where we also had the Minister of Mineral Affairs and Mineral that attended with delegations from South Africa. So there's a lot happening between Ghana and South Africa.
All right. So usually when I have my guests, when I have yourself, the likes of yourself, and of course on the show, I'm very much interested in zooming down to things that the people can relate to. It seems like a lot is happening at the government level. And so when we come down, the things that the people can relate to, resonate, and feel the impact directly. I would like to talk about that. So I want us, culturally, what's happening between us as two countries? Because South Africa has a diverse, cultural, bits and pieces of everything. And so what's happening between our two countries? And likewise, when it comes to Ghana as well, we are also diverse in our culture. How can we match in that area? What's happening in that area?
well, what's happening in that area, can I take it first to government level and then bring it down to
my
the
level.
people?
All right.
To you.
Right.
and where it matters is the ordinary people. Because
Right.
that's where the impact should be felt.
Absolutely, I agree.
People. Yes. So in 2018, we had an agreement between South Africa and Ghana in terms of culture. So there was a week, and that was a centenary, the 100-year centenary of Nelson Mandela. So we had a week that was dedicated, I think it was in October of 2018, where a delegation from the Department of Arts and Culture in South Africa came with a delegation from South Africa that had exhibitors, that had culture, and spent a week at the convention center where they just displayed proudly South African and merged South African culture with Ghanaian culture as well. And we were due to have a follow-up the following year. And then, of course, we all know then the surge of COVID came.
COVID is still here, though. That was at the peak of COVID.
That's at the peak of COVID.
Right.
But now the aftermath of COVID, we're now able to interact, we're able to move, we're able to then have open door, we're able to have exhibitions, we're able to have conferences, and South Africa will now host Ghana for a week in South Africa. We're just speaking to the Minister of Arts and Culture, Minister Mtweta in South Africa, of course through our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so that we can then host a similar week of just Ghana and look at culture. And before I forget, and I told myself I'm not going to forget when I speak to you, so that I can also just coerce you and other women. I went to, of course, I was invited to a briefing session by my colleague, the High Commissioner of Rwanda, a briefing on the CHOGM. And I should also mention that all the CHOGM will be held in Rwanda in June. Very successful briefing. And after that, I was then invited to the National Theatre, where I went to go and look at the performance, Harriet, Women at Work. Oh, it was amazing. I was blown away by the performance. And I would like every woman to please make time this evening. They are still going to premiere again
today?
At 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And you begin to understand women, how we relate to each other. And for me, that was one phenomenal showcase of culture, of the arts, of show business, and just as a performance as well. And I must commend the producer, Fifi Coleman, for that stage, for that piece.
All right.
And that's just how we can collaborate with South Africa, because at home I usually, over weekends when I'm not busy, I go to the State Theatre in South Africa and go and watch performances and see. And I always look at opportunities. I'm always looking at working while I'm having unwinding.
Yes, so you have fun, and then you are also spotting opportunities.
And then the tourism, and of course the rainbow.
So that will be under show-based diplomacy. Show-based diplomacy is big. We can talk about movies, we can talk about music, we can talk about performances like the one you went to see recently, and all of that. How big is the showbiz industry? I know the movie industry is big in South Africa, because I used to see a lot of series, South African series, on our network. So I know how big it is. But what are the potential? What does the future look like? Because I really would like to see some of these collaborations in this area when it comes to music, when it comes to recently you presented an award at the VGMA. I'm sure you saw how huge this event is.
It is.
How can we leverage that to begin to look at features between South Africa and Ghana?
Yes, and I must thank the Deputy Minister of Tourism for inviting me over the weekend, and I must congratulate all the artists for the awards.
Right.
And all of them stood out for me. And you know, you begin to appreciate the music. And you know, Harriet, there's so much synergies in our musics, in the genres of the musics. Some of the Afro beats and some of the beats and some of the genres are similar to what we have in South Africa. You have some that are similar to the genres that are done by Black Coffee in South Africa. You have genres that are similar to what we do, our Amapianos.
A lot of similarities.
A lot of similarities. And it's in the beats, in the sound, in the genres. Of course, there's similarities in it. And those are areas of opportunity. But there are South African and Ghanaian artists that are collaborating in terms of doing
music?
Yes, music already. We also have a dinner that's due to travel to South Africa as well to go and collaborate and do music. There are a lot of artists. And during COVID, surprisingly, we had last year a number of artists, South African artists that came here. You had your Amapianos. We had an Amapiano festival in December here. There were a lot of the artists that continue coming here. We even have a South African artist, the legendary Sonti, that's currently resident in Ghana, and she performed with Miriam Makeba, she performed with Yuma Sikela, and I do not need to explain the history of Yuma Sikela and Ghana and relationships. That goes without saying. So we have been collaborating as two nations in music.
I believe there is more we can do.
Yes, we can still do more.
We can still do more.
Yes, we can still do more.
You know, I think, so 1 hour doesn't seem to be enough for me and my guests anymore. You know how much time is left already? We have 9 minutes or 10 minutes to wrap up.
And
we haven't even started.
And I still wanted to talk about the Rainbow Nation.
No, we're going to talk about that. So we cannot go without talking about the Rainbow Nation. I really would like to share that with my viewers. So I have the Rainbow Nations tennis tournament, the maiden one, of course, under the auspices of the High Commissioner of South Africa and the Ghana South Africa Business Chamber. I managed, we were there for the beginning, day 1, day 2, day 3 was a 3-day event, and of course we were there to put this video together for you. So take a look at that video when we come back. We'll tell you more about that.
I'm with the U.S. Embassy. Very excited about our win tonight. With some hard-fought matches, but yeah, it was fun. It was great to play some tennis, combine meeting people and playing for a good cause. So yeah.
The opponents were great. This is really about having fun. The South Africa Business Chamber put this event on. Good social tennis, lots of different levels, so that was really exciting.
Thank you so much for the chamber.
Crafted masterly to put envoys, diplomatic, economic envoys, together with the business community to try and revive the economy. We're in a time where businesses have to resume fully so that economic activity would help the economy to bounce back.
Whatever we do, our foreign policy does mirror the domestic policy. Whatever we do out there must be able to help the economy, help the cause, help the domestic agenda. And so whatever event or whatever programs you can put together just to bring people together to be able to achieve that goal, it's what you do. Sometimes you can sit in meetings and negotiate businesses. You can have trade fairs abroad, but this is also one sport that brings people together.
Of course, it's been a success. Let's not forget, there's a serious mission that we have. We're raising money to invest in girls through tennis. So the fun is out of the way. It's now down to the serious work of being good corporate citizens in Ghana. We have many sponsors that
Great, so welcome back. So that happened, yesterday was the last day. It was a 3-day event. It's the Rainbow Nations Tennis Tournament, the maiden one. I understand this is going to be an annual event. Your Excellency, briefly, this was done again under your leadership. We've never had anything like this, and you are very passionate about tennis for girls. You are very passionate about the proceeds will go to help young ladies and also fund their education and a whole lot. Briefly, can you just tell us what this whole thing, is about?
Well, I can speak the whole day, Harriet, but just briefly to tell you how we conceptualized it. With Grant, the president of the South Africa Chamber and Ghana Chamber of Commerce, we started first with the post-COVID a month ago. We started with the Grace Mason tennis tournament, where we just wanted to interact with all our corporates in Ghana.
Right.
And how we do it in South Africa, and as Mandela says, that sports is a vehicle to unite people. And I even said to them, can we take it further? And we then agree, let's unite nations. And that's where we started with the Grace Mason tennis tournament. And we then had this Rainbow Nations tournament. Harriet, and I must thank the business community. I must thank Grant and his team for putting it together in 1 month. This did not take 6 months. I went to South Africa to attend a heads of missions meeting where we had a strategic planning with our president, and our president said to us, the diplomats must now look at finding creative ways of mixing and getting to network with our corporates, and not just our corporates, but just economic diplomacy.
Right.
And while I was in Pretoria, I sent the president's clip to Grant, and I said, Grant, this is instructions from the boss.
This is the assignment. It has to be done.
Can we make it happen? And surprisingly, they
pulled it off.
They pulled it off in a month's time. And when we had 56 players, Harriet.
Amazing.
23 nations. This is history. 23 nations. And hence the Rainbow Nations. But I must thank all the sponsors. Just the rationale behind the tournament, the opportunity for young girls, and what we're trying to achieve as well, their scholarships and this, and of course it was a competition.
Yes.
And last night it was very tense competition, and of course it's tennis, it's a competition.
Right.
And congratulate the team that won, and yes, we will do it. Every year we'll have an annual event, and now we'll have much more time
to plan.
And if we could have social cohesion of 23 nations in 1 month, what would we do, Harriet, in 12 months?
Can you imagine? There's so much.
Yes, absolutely.
That can be achieved.
Yes, and I would like to thank the ambassador as well for playing, and I promise that I will play her next year.
Oh, yeah, right.
You play
me too. I will be there. I'll represent. I'm a beginner, so I will represent.
Absolutely.
I saw the U.S. ambassador designate. She's yet to present some credentials to the president. She's done open letters at the Foreign Affairs Ministry, so she was there to support as well.
Our husband was playing. Asma was playing in the semi-finals as well.
Really?
Yes, Harriet.
Awesome. I have lots of messages. I hope they can give me like a minute so I can read some of these messages quickly. This is Facebook. It says, the powerful Pan-African TV news, a good work done for Ghana. Thanks to you. To who that God bless, there will be no one to stop you. And we appreciate what you do for Ghana, and kudos for this brilliant program. Well, thank you very much. This is Korea Donko. And Prospatoni says, I'm impressed with the Ghana-SA relations and look forward to inviting Her Excellency to Skills Hub by YOTA, Youth Opportunity and Transformation in Africa. Oh, so you have a proposal already. I hope you'll be able to honor it. This is on the first anniversary is on the 27th of May, and they would want you to be their keynote speaker. I've had the opportunity to host them on this platform. It's youth-driven, and it's very impactful. I think, Your Excellency, what do you say? Will you be able to find the time to participate?
Harriet, as you know, my scope and my focus is youth, empowerment of youth, girls in particular. That's where my passion is.
Right. So Prosper, there you are. I know you are watching this. You got her. So she's already agreed, and she will be there for you. And Chairman says, very insightful discussion. Well, thank you very much. I can't take all of your messages, but this one also says, this is from Radia, and Radia is the director for Moon Touch Travel and Tour in Ghana. She was part of the agencies that facilitated our tour to Morocco, when the Moroccan ambassador sent us to Morocco. So she says, I really admire Her Excellency, and I would love to meet her so we can discuss tourism and then maybe getting some Ghanaians to visit for business opportunities in South Africa. All right, so she's fine with that, Radia. And this says, okay, this one says, ask her. They'll kill me if I don't ask all these questions. But, I mean, I don't have all the time to do that. Okay. Your Excellency, your last words. I'm sure I can be able to. Your last words, so we can just go quickly, please.
My last words is just God bless the people and the Republic of Ghana, and God bless South Africa and the people of South Africa. God bless our prosperous, peaceful continent. Let us create the Africa that we want, that is peaceful and prosperous. And thank you so much for having me on your show. I look forward to other interventions and other shows where we will do more, and as we say, together we can do more. Thank you, Harriet, for having me on your show.
Right.
Thank you to all your viewers.
Okay, so producer, just one more, then we can go. This one, I have to take it. It says, Her Excellency, congratulations on a successful hosting of the maiden edition of the Rainbow Nations Tennis Tournament event held at the Accra Lawn Tennis Club. I'm much more delighted about the fact that you raised funds in support of the girl child. Great initiative, Her Excellency. I'd like to invite you once again to our upcoming 10th Babulat Tennis. I think you met them at the
yes.
Babulat Tennis Tournament in September this year. We will pay a courtesy call and invite you to officially grace the event. Well, there you have it. And Lily Mohammed says she's watching. Wow, today somebody found the time to watch. I know how busy you can be, but I'm happy that you made time to watch. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation on Diplomatic Affairs. I know the time has not been enough, but we look forward to having you again. Again. You have a loyalty card as well, just as the EU ambassador to Ghana and Sophie Ado, you know. So there you are. Anytime you want us to talk about relations between our two countries, we can always do that. Okay, so there is no us without you. What did you say again? I am because you are. Ubuntu. I am because you are. So we are because you are, and we thank you so much for making time to be with us today. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to stay with us because, of course, I was having Her Excellency, the High Commissioner of South Africa to Ghana, Grace Janet Mason. We look forward to seeing you same time next week. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you.
Truly African.
Hello and welcome to Street Talk on Pan-African Television. My name is Karis. The prevalence of domestic violence is a major issue of concern in our society, and evidently there have been news about women who have become victims of domestic violence, female brutalities, physical abuse, and murder. Despite efforts being made by actors towards curtailing this, it's obvious that the issue of domestic violence is unending. We are on the streets of Kaswa to interact with people as to why there is frequent murder and brutality and, in fact, physical abuse of women, who the perpetrators are, and going forward, what we can do as a people to also eradicate this. Stay tuned. Yeah, so I have my handsome brother here who is in the security field. He's going to share his opinion with us. So tell me, you are in that field, in the security field. What do you think, or why are the reasons, what is the reason why women face a lot of abuses these days, especially murder and other forms of brutality?
One thing I've learned is in the world that we are living now, I can see that the devil is working. The devil is working more than, because if you look at, for instance, going to church, people just go to church, but they don't go to church and learn. They don't go to church and listen to the word of God and work with it. But the only thing they know is I'm going to church. Everybody's going to church, so I also have to go to church.
I don't understand. I tend to say that the devil enters the perpetrators or those who commit the murder.
It's working. It's working. The devil is working more. The devil is working more. That is why somebody can just look at his friend and just kill his fellow human being, or look at his woman and just tell the woman that, hey, what for me? You just have to kill her. And it's something that is not something that you just have to logic.
So you are in the security field, and I'm sure you might have. I mean, some of those cases have been brought before you. What are some of the reasons that people?
A whole lot of people, they used to bring their problems and stuff, and if you look at some of them, their problems, it's not logic, and we just have to log them. A woman or a man can kill his woman. Why? He's flirting. Why is he flirting? You have to take your woman's phone, and it's all something that it doesn't make sense. So the only thing to me, I just have to tell Ghanaian people is, don't even take your woman's phone, and don't even go straight like follow your woman. Let's say his phone, his WhatsApp, everything. Just leave her. Just make sure that whatever she needs, you just have to follow and do it for your woman, so that at least happiness will come to the house.
So some complain that their women are flirting. What advice do you have for them so that they don't take the law into their own hands when they fight?
The advice I have to tell the women is that you just have to don't follow money. Money is doing anything. Money is just material things. But the only thing you just have to do is you have to make sure that you respect your man, and make sure that you follow your man whatever the man tells you to do. Just follow it and follow your heart. Don't follow money. If you follow money, that is what brings the flirting.
Oga Peter, so tell us, why are some of you males murdering or brutalizing your female counterpart?
Yes, to my own point of view, why you see some men murdering women, most of them, some of them is spiritual.
Spiritual?
Yes. Spiritual as the aspect that they have programmed them. But some of them, most of the things they take give them problem. I don't believe the person have not taken anything like all this high alcohol or this so-called tramadol that makes their head. When they see human being, don't look at them as human being. It can make somebody to kill his fellow human being, because human, they looking at it. I don't see the reason why a normal human being can take something and kill his wife or his own brother or a friend if he have not taken anything. So what I'm trying to say is that most of the things they are taking can make them to do those things. So if government can try their best to stop some of those high alcoholism they are taking, I believe those things can be reduced. And other things, lack of jobs also contributed to it.
Lack of jobs? How?
Why I say lack of job is that if you have something doing very early in the morning, 5 o'clock, you woke up, go to your working place, I don't think you will have the chance to sit down thinking of how you can kill human being or how somebody can offend you to the extent of killing the person. That's why I said lack of job is one of the things that is causing it again.
So lack of jobs and high intake of drugs. All right, thank you. So what should women do also to protect themselves against such acts? Because, yeah, there are government policies in place and all that. But what should women or female counterparts also do?
Yes, our women should sometimes control themselves. Some women have hot temper. Some women don't know how to speak. When you see that, why I say they should control themselves, that when you see that somebody he have a hot temper, maybe trying to harm you, you have to run away, or you have to know how you can patronize the very person in order not the person to harm you. Like as you are, if I see that maybe you are a man and both of us are exchanging words, and I see that there are some ways I will tell you be provoked to harm me, it's better what to do for me to do is just to give you chance and keep quiet. So women too should always try and control themselves and also give people chance. So, and those bad people, when you know that any person that is bad, it shows on his face. When you say that this person is a wicked person or is bad, if I were to be a woman, I have to give the person chance. If it's my wife, my husband, I will give him chance. Because if you have a wife, a husband, you have to know the kind of man you marry to. So that is why I say women also should know how to control themselves and also to avoid those kind of incidents.
Okay, so women should not also verbally abuse their male counterparts. Women should be careful about the kind of men they go out to or they allow into their lives. Yeah. Okay, and sometimes you can see from their faces that they are wicked. You can see that. So can we tell whether you are wicked?
You said what?
Can we tell whether you are wicked or not?
Oh, me, I'm a gentleman. I'm not wicked. I'm a gentleman. I don't have that kind of mind. Yeah.
Peter says he's a gentleman. Thank you very much. Okay, so Emmanuel said the way when you see a film, person so try what doing. Anytime a man kum by or more husbands or more boyfriends, that does sir.
Me so much I met you say sisi asena brabo na ekonom. Ewiase na kwa say sisi entobwase nio. Ye relationship na oba kofa be ma na be ma kofa oba. Ye nya botre ni entena ni ye nhwe ye nsteady ye hu yi. Enu ase yakofom ni ahokire ba kakra pe one side bi obema na adwuma timi sei na afi de pressure be da ne so enu kura timi ma ebufuo ba e ma oba ne ye bibi kakra na de ebufuo akoye se nya mesum wom e na yakofo oba no na ye steady no e na ya to ye bo ase ni ya steady ye nya hu na ye wura ware no ne mpai bo wura ma sa kunkunkunko enu so entamba e wo se dodo na ye so kwa asori mum but ese nya bibie ni ayenya abotre ni ewe ni nya sisi a pressure no so abeda ese eduma sem no sika sem no so kan bi because if I say be man eduma sem say pe na oba ono to be man pressure kakra na say we say u trafa nche kakra no so de enibre no kra de ni obekum ntamum timi so kakra me wa metu
inti ma o de show se ahocha ne de wo ho ye beto ahoche na ahoche so ho na ahoche so be kwaso akọ na ahoche nti na ye se o fa abadi kumobi se wo hu nti e futo be na wo ma sa because ahoche de den ye be
me futo an me ma se sa me ma no mo ye sa ne ma no sabi ejimie enye krakras nsa ma to sebe no ma nyom sabi ejimie enye